Well, hello there, Quirky Birders. It's Lynn here, and I just thought I would pop on and record a very quick and fun little quirky tutorial, just demonstrating a couple of different ideas for bookmarks. Now, these are all very simple in design. You can also upsize these to use for illustrations on little cards, and they really are a lovely collection of designs to do. So we've got things like the little watercolor doodles. We've also got the little roses and the little funky chickens, and a couple of nice little pot plant type designs too. So let's just make a start and get going with the painting. So it's really quite a nice simple process to do these designs. So we're going to begin by, I'm just using a size 6 brush, and I've also got a size 3. So I've got a size 6 and I've also got a size 3 just to put in some of the finer details. But we'll begin by just doing our watercolour doodle card first. So this is the one that we're going to do to begin with. And we're just going to use these lovely sort of pastel colours. So starting with a nice pale green, all you're going to do is literally just paint a little U shape. So just that little U shape and around on the bottom. And then you just put in the little wavy line over the top and just join that up. And then just completely fill the space. So the next colour that we're going to do is a nice pale red. So again, same shape, just that little U shape with that little wavy line, and then just colour that in. Next colour is the colour purple, and again just that little U shape, wavy line, and then just fill that colour in. I've just got a bristle that's come out of my brush actually. There we go. Got rid of that. And just take away any of the excess paint. If you've got any pooling paint, just take away the excess just so it's not sitting there. The next colour we're going to use is a nice pale blue. So again, just put in that little U shape and the wavy lines, and then just fill that shape completely. And then lastly, I'm going to do a little bit with the pale yellow. So again, exactly the same shape, just that little U shape, and just finish off with that wavy line joining that shape up. And then you can just take away any of the excess paint if it's pooling just that, as this one is, it's just pooling ever so slightly. So I'm just going to lift away that excess paint. I just want that nice pale effect. So once you have done your flowers, the next thing that you need to do is you need to just put in the leaves. So for your leaves, all you're going to do is just paint a very simple little oval shape. And you just need to position those leaves where they can attach themselves to the stem. We're going to be drawing the stem using the ink pen, so you just need to visualize where that stem is going to go, and therefore you can attach the leaves to that stem. So I'll pop one for the blue one. We'll do another one here for the purple flower. We've got space of probably 2 for the pink one. So I'll just pop one in, and then a second one. And then lastly, we've got the blue flower at the top. So we'll do one and then a second. And then I'm just going to come back down the design and just get rid of any of that sort of paint that's sitting a little bit heavy. So just dry your brush off and just use that thirsty brush just to lift away any of the excess paint. Like so. And that is the first design finished. So that's just going to just dry, and then that will become your watercolor doodle type design. So the next design that we're going to do, we're going to just have a go at painting these very, very simple and loose open abstract roses, and this is a lovely design to do, and it's one that you can actually bunch together. You can actually do more than just the 3, and you can actually then create a nice bouquet of roses, and it's something nice for Mother's Day as well. So this is the next design that we're going to be working on. So to begin with, I'm going to use a little bit of that pale red. So you just want a nice pale colour. You can always lighten it by just using a little bit of white if you want to. But all you're going to do for your rose design is you're going to not really think about it too much with the positioning of the paint, but you're just going to start with a very, very simple little loop, little squiggle. And then from that squiggle, you're going to allow the white of the paper to show through. But you're just then going to create just that series of lovely little furled petals. So we'll do another one just around this side. And like I say, don't really think about it too much. We can then put that little cup of the flower on at the bottom. Like so. There we go. And that's your first rose. So our second rose is the colour purple. So I'm going to use that nice pale purple, and we'll just do exactly the same again. So just starting with that little loose shape, gradually just come out and bring out those lovely furled petals. Like so. And like I say, don't really think about it too much. This design works best when you're just nice and relaxed. It's just nice and loose. And again, we can just pop that little cup of the flower. Let's just bring that petal out just slightly with a bit more detail on it. There we go. That's given us a little better shape. And then lastly, you can do something with a very nice pale orange. And we'll just do exactly the same, so just starting with that little spiral, allowing the white to show through. You can then start to bring those petals around. And pop that little cup in. And then just where you've got some pooling paint, again, just lift that pooling paint away. Like so. And those are your 3 roses. Now the next thing that we need to do is we just need to pop in a little bit of a stem. And you can do that by changing to your size 3 brush, and then just bring your stems just down and through the design, like so. There we go. And then the last thing that we need to do is we just need to add just a couple of little leaves. So again, just a very, very simple and stylized little leaf shape. So you can pop a couple under your orange rose. Again, just take some time just to get rid of that excess paint if it's a little bit heavy. We'll just put a small one in here. We haven't got a lot of room. We can just pop that one in there. And then we can just do one up the top here. And then maybe a second one that we can just attach to the stem. So I'll just pop that one there. Just take away that excess paint. And that is your very simple little rose design. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn my board around, because we're going to just work next on this little potted plant bookmark. So we're going to be working landscape for this one. And this is a really simple and easy design to do, and you can have great fun with the colours of this. So we're going to be painting a series of pots in first. So I'm going to just make a start by just putting in a little terracotta pot. So you're going to just do the little rounded edges for the rim of the pot, and then just bring the sides down and just put in that bottom. Now when it comes to the painting of the pot, you just want to allow there to be just a couple of little chinks of white of the paper. It's just going to help you with regards to the highlights on that pot. So you don't need to paint the pot in its entirety, but you do just want there to be just 1 or 2 little highlights just to help with the definitions of the pot. There we go. And then we'll just take away any of the pooling paint, like so. Okay. So the next pot that we're going to do is that nice sort of pot-bellied, rounded-sided pot. And I'm going to use the colour pink for this, so you can actually have some fun with the colour. So all we're going to do is just bring the sides down. So you're going to have two sides, like so, and then just put a little rounded bottom on it. Scoop out the neck. And then again, just allow there to be just one or two little highlights. So it's just glinting through with those shadows just to that one side. And then just completely paint over the rest of the area. That's our second pot. The third pot you want to position pretty much in the middle, and you can see that I'm right in the middle of my bookmark here, and we're just going to do that little stripy pot. So you're going to bring the sides in slightly on the diagonal, just put that rounded bottom in and scoop around the neck of the pot. And then you can just pop your stripes like so. So just very, very simple, your little stripy pot. The next one is the little green planter. So we're going to just keep that a little bit long and low. So just very simple little rounded sides, rounded bottom, scooped out rim, and again, like we have done with the other pots, just allow there to be those little highlights just to that left hand side. And then lastly, we're going to do something in that sort of paler terracotta colour again. So you can make a colour a little bit lighter by adding in a little bit of yellow. And what we're going to do for this one is we're going to just pop in a little neck, and then you're going to come down the sides of the pot with these little belly shapes until you get to the bottom. You're going to just pop your rim in, and then again when it comes to the painting of the pot, just allow there to be just those little glints of highlights. And you can just do that all the way down your pot. Okay, like so. Come up the sides a little bit just to define those sides. And that's your little bellied vase. So once you've painted your individual pots onto your bookmark, the next thing that you can do is you can start to paint in some of the plants and foliages. So I'm going to begin by just using a little bit of the green, and what we'll do is we're just going to paint a very, very simple little aloe vera type plant. So you're just going to do a couple of little oval leaves, and we'll do one the other side. Just very, very simple in shape. And you can just push the paintbrush away and just create some thinner leaves. And that's your first little plant. The second plant that we're going to do, we're just going to do more of a fir type foliage. So you're going to have some nice long central stems, and then just push out from that central stem your little feathery edges just to create that lovely little bit of texture. You can bring that colour forward, and you can do the same coming forward, just using the tip of the brush to have those lovely feathery details. Again, you can just use the brush just to give you just a little bit of movement, like so. And what we can do is we can add a little bit more detail to that using the ink pen. So I'm just going to leave that pretty much as that is, and we'll add the ink details to that to enhance the picture. Next one, we're going to just do the little lavender flowers. So to do your lavender flowers, starting at the tip of the flower, using the colour purple, you're then just going to squiggle and wiggle the brush down towards you into a little triangle shape, like so. And we'll just do 3 little flowers, like so. Now I'm just going to leave them to dry, and I'll come back to those in a moment. Now the next colour that I'm going to use is actually going to be the colour grey. And I'm going to use the colour grey and just from the rim of the green planter, just literally just push up using your paintbrush and push away from that rim. And just create just those little grey wispy bits. And again, I'm just going to leave that to dry because we're going to overpaint that in just a moment. And then lastly, you just want to do a couple of nice little leaves coming out of this pot over here. So we'll just paint just a couple. Looks like a little bunny now with the 2 ears. We'll just bring one forward facing. Like so. And then you can always just add in just a couple of those little lines, little wispy bits. So we'll come back to the lavender. And we're just going to just use the lavender and just use the paintbrush just to put some little wispy bits of foliage up through and around those lavender flowers. And we'll add the rest of the details just using the ink pen. And then just using that green, we can just do the same in front of the grey. Like so. And that's it. That's your little pot plants finished, and we can add the rest of the details to those pot plants using the ink pen in just a moment. So moving the board back around again, we're going to come back to our little chicken. Now this one is slightly different, and what we've done, or what I've done for this one, is I've actually just put a little border all the way around the little bookmark, because you just then want to create this lovely sharp edge to your little chicken bookmark. Now for this design, there is just a little bit of drawing involved. And what we're needing to do is just to start by drawing in the little beak of your chicken. And it's just a very, very simple little shape indeed. So it's just quite simple with the little semicircle, and then you're bringing your 2 diagonal lines down, and they are then coming to a further point, and that's what's forming the beak to your chicken. The next thing that you need to do is you just need to put in just a couple of little eyes to your chicken. And that's it as far as the drawing of your chicken is concerned. What you can do is we can just add in the eyes using a thicker felt pen. So you just come around those pencil circles, just making sure that they're quite even in size. And then you want to just allow there to be just a chink of light in the eyeball. So you just need to leave just a little bit of the white of the eye showing through. So you're just going to allow the paper to do that. And then once you've done that, you're then ready to paint. So the first thing that we're going to do is using a nice bright orange, or you could use a nice red. You're just going to put in your chicken's comb. And it's a very, very simple, just a little wibbly wobbly shape. So just freehand, just paint that little wibbly wobbly shape. And then you can literally just fill that in with paint. And then just push out from the top and just create those little feathery details to your chicken's comb. And then the next thing that we're going to do is using a nice bit of yellow, you can paint in your chicken's beak. Like so. And that forms the basis of your chicken's face. What you now need to do is we now need to start to build the colour of our chicken. So I'm actually going to use a little bit of the yellow ochre type colour because we're going to be working on our chicken from light to dark. So we're going to be applying the lighter colour first. And what you're needing to do is you just need to with using the paintbrush, just mark out just a little bit of where the face and the neck is going to form on your chicken. And then just come down and just add in the body, like so. And then we'll just do exactly the same thing around the other side. So again, just a couple of little marks just to define the area of the face. And then come down around the neck. And then put in the body. And then we're going to build the colour gradually from this point. So I'm going to keep with the browns. So I'm just going to use a slightly darker brown now for the next colour. And you just do exactly the same thing again. you come around the face, under the eyes, being careful around the beak, and then just take that colour all the way down the main body of your chicken. Just creating those lovely little feathers. And we'll just do the same again around the face and the eye. Like so. And then you're going to introduce a third colour. And for my third colour, I'm going to actually put in a little bit of crimson red. So I'm going to mix a little bit of crimson red with a paler brown. Just get that lovely sort of russety colour. And we'll do the same thing again. So just using that red, come down through the body. Like so. And then what we can do is just bring that red around the face slightly and the beak. So just do be careful. And we'll do the same the other side. There we go. Okay. And that's it for your little chicken. That's your little chicken finished. So that's the 4 designs, just very, very quickly and simply painted. So what we can do now is we can come back to the first design because we've worked quite lightly, so that's actually dry. So we can then start to put in the ink details. And what you're going to do is just come around the outside edge of your painted leaves, and you can just decorate those leaves with a very, very simple couple of lines from the tip of the leaf, like so. You can then pop in the stem, and you can then join your leaves up to the stem. So we'll carry on just doing the leaves and stems for the moment. So around the painted leaf, and just mark it with just a couple of little lines. And then this time your stem is going to come behind the yellow flower and out the other side, and then you can just attach your leaf. So we'll do the same again with this one. So around your painted leaf, a couple of little lines from the base of the leaf, add your stem behind your blue flower, and then attach your leaf. And we'll carry on up. So we've got now our pink flower. So around the painted edge of the leaf, your 2 little lines. Add in your stem, and then attach your leaves. And then lastly, we've got the flower at the top, So around the painted edge, a couple of little lines, same again. Pop in your stem behind your pink flower and then just attach your leaves. So once you've done your stems and your leaves, you can then just pop a couple of little stamens in front of your flowers. So all you're going to do for that is just create just a series of sweeping lines, and you just need 5 lines in total, and they can come out at different directions, and that's just going to provide the decoration of the flowers. So you then just work your way up. So we've got our blue flower, we'll do the purple one, like so. We'll come around the pink flower, and then our last flower like so. And then you can just sign the bottom of your illustration. And that's the first one done. So I'm just going to just peel away the tape on that one, because I don't want to take my hands over it and rub the ink. So I'll just pop that up there just to one side, and we'll carry on with the roses. Now the roses are done very, very similarly to how you've painted them. And you're just going to keep it just nice and loose, and again not really think about it too much. Now you're not going to do all of the actual leaves. You're just going to just select 1 or 2 key areas of those leaves and just keep it quite free flowing, and just allow the white of the paper to show through as well, just to give you those shapes. So we can do the leaves in a similar vein to our watercolor doodles. So you're coming around the painted leaves and just putting a couple of little lines at the base of the leaf. You can draw in the stems, being careful of those flowers, and then just attach your leaves. So we'll do our next one here. So again, you're just going to start with that little, almost that little spiral. You can come around the outside edge of just some of the petals. Like so. You can then pop in your stems, define your leaf, and then just attach it. And then lastly, I'm going to come around and just do our lovely peach one. Add in the stem. A little bit of the leaf decoration. And then just attach those to the stem itself. So again, you can just sign the bottom of your bookmark, and that's your second little design finished. So let me just take that away and pop that up there with the other one. Now I'm going to just missed the pots, and we'll just finish off with our little chicken because he is actually dry, so we can do him now. So for your chicken, you're going to come around the top of the beak, and put in those nice shapes to the beak, a couple of little nostrils, and then you're going to bring a line just down the centre of the beak, and then just put a little bit of shading just at the tip of the beak, like so. You can put a little bit at the top as well if you wanted to, and come down the side, just to give you a little bit of shape and definition to the beak. Now for his comb, all you're going to do for the comb is just a continuous squiggle just around that wibbly wobbly line. So coming around over the top, and that's all you're going to do for the comb. And then what you're going to do is, using the pen, you can start to define those feathers. So you're just using the lines of your pen, coming around the beak, come over the top of the beak, around the side of the eyes, you can just come around a couple of times because you want that nice texture and nice depth of colour. Around over the eyes again. And then you can just bring the lines down over the body. So just keep scoring as you go. Right the way down to the bottom. We can increase the length of your pen marks. Like so. You can then just add a couple of little eyelashes to your chicken's eyes, just so you've got a little bit more detail around the eye. And then you can just sign the bottom of your illustration. And then I'm just going to take away the tape on this one, but I just need to be a little bit more careful with this one because we've taped it in such a way that we've created just that nice sharp border. So coming over the top. And I'll just bring that side away as well. And that's your little chicken bookmark finished. So pop that up with the others. And then lastly, we've just got our little plants to deal with. And these are really simple and effective once they have had the ink details applied. So starting with your terracotta pot, you can pop your rim in and your sides and come around the bottom. You can do the rim at the top and just take a little line around the back just to give it the impression of a little bit of depth. you can bring some little lines of shading just around the left hand side of the pot, just to help you, just to enhance that shape. Your aloe vera plant, you're going to just put in the larger leaves, like so. And then for the shorter ones, just put a single pen line over the shorter ones, just to give you that movement. So moving on, we'll come around the little pink pot, add in that lovely rounded side. Now on this one, where you've done your nice feathery foliage, just use that as a background. And then using your pen, just put in that central stem, and then from that central stem, just allow the pen to just put in those little feathery marks. So we'll do it for both of those. And then for your linear leaves, you can come around the outside of those, like so. And then just add just a couple of little pen marks in between. And that just helps you, just give you that lovely shape and a little bit more movement to your pot. And then we carry on. So we'll come around the little blue stripy pot, down the sides, and pop the rim in. And then just add your stripes. So just coming around your pot, like that. And then again, you can just use a little bit of shading just on the left hand side to help you enhance the shape of that little pot. Now your lavender flowers, we're doing nothing with those apart from just popping them onto little stems. And then as far as the lavender foliage is concerned, you just want to loosely just put a couple of little oval leaves, like so. So then we come to our long and low planter. So we're going to come around the sides, pop in the bottom, the same for the rim. And again, like we have done for our other rounded pots, you can just use a little bit of shading just on your left hand side to help enhance the shape. And then this one is really fairly easy. You're just literally going to do just a series of zigzags along the pot, like so. And then you'll need to go over it again. So you can just literally just scribble those zigzags. And then lastly, we've got our little rounded side pot. So we'll come all the way down those lovely rounded sides. Oops. Along the bottom. And then we can just add in those lovely leaves, like so. Again, you can just put those linear pen marks in just for a little bit of extra movement. And just put a little couple of lines up through the centre of the leaves. And that's it. So let's just take away that last little bit of tape. You can then sign your illustration. So I'm going to sign it just at this corner here. And that is it, finished. So very, very simple designs, but really, really quite effective. And it's just a great way of spending a morning. Now each of these little bookmarks, they can be laminated if you wanted to. You can actually attach some little ribbons as well. But you then have done your little pots. We've had some fun with the little chicken. So he's great fun. The beautiful roses, again, are just lovely to do, as are the watercolor doodles. So I really do hope you've enjoyed that tutorial. Like I say, do have some fun with the designs, experiment with regards to sizes, because you can upsize all of these designs to put them onto greetings cards, but they certainly make great little gifts for as bookmarks. So yeah, enjoy your painting, do have some fun, and I will see you all again very soon. Goodbye.